Señores y señoras,
Mesdames et messieurs,
buenas noches.
bonsoir.
Bienvenidos a la ceremonia de la Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica.
Bienvenue à la cérémonie d'installation de la Société honoraire de français. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente le directeur de Pequannock Township High School,
Señores y señoras,
Mesdames et messieurs,
buenas noches.
bonsoir.
Bienvenidos a la ceremonia de la Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica.
Bienvenue à la cérémonie d'installation de la Société honoraire de français. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente le directeur de Pequannock Township High School, Monsieur Richard Hazler.
Good evening, Mr. Portis, Dr. Winning, members of the Board of Education, PTHS faculty and staff, Mrs. Mildner, Mr. Silipina, parents, friends, community members, and the inductees of the class of 2020 of the Pequannock Township High School World Language Honor Society. Welcome to tonight's ceremony. It is an honor and a privilege to stand here tonight as the principal of Pequannock Township High School. I might have shared this story with some of you, but my favorite teacher throughout my entire high school career was my Spanish teacher, Senor Hingston. There were many reasons why I enjoyed being in his class. His energy, his enthusiasm, his humor, his love of culture, his interest in music, his care for our success. But most importantly, the life lessons that he taught us. Every day, Senor Hingston would start off his class with routines. He would stand outside his door and greet us with a hello, and when the bell rang, he would walk in and quietly say, "Clase, ¿qué quieren ustedes de la vida?" It translates to, "What do you want from life?" And as a class, we would all stand up in unison, give a fist pump, and say, "El jugo," which means the juice. What do you want out of life? I want the juice. I want to squeeze every drop there is out of life and make it the best life it can be. And he would remind us of that every day. I enjoyed every minute that I was in his classroom. In his class, you almost forgot that you were learning another language. You got immersed in the stories, the culture, the detail, the process, the importance of communicating with those around you. You were able to see that learning another language could be a tangible, powerful, transformative experience. And in looking back now many years later, it was another life lesson that he was teaching me. Much like squeezing the juice out of life can be a tangible, powerful, transformative experience, so is learning. You are all being inducted into the World Language Honor Society tonight because you are doing everything you can to squeeze the juice out of your learning experience. Your hard work in the classroom, dedication to your studies, your relentless pursuit of excellence has enabled you to achieve high levels of success in your world language classes. Your desire to open your eyes, ears, and mouth to the importance of learning a second language will open up doors for you long beyond the walls of Pequannock Township High School. You see the value of communication, and you are committed to embracing a culture not about me, but we. The world you are growing up in is very different than even the one I grew up in high school as a student in Senor Hingston's class. Communicating in another language was once something of a luxury to be able to do. Now, it's essential. As you go on to college and into the workplace, the ability to understand and speak another language puts you at the head of the pack. We are living in a global society, and embracing a culture of we and having the ability to communicate in another language connects you to a broader world and breaks barriers that can restrict your learning and stifle your professional and personal growth. Your commitment to learning another language develops the skills of empathy, open-mindedness, and critical thinking that are essential for your generation as global citizens. It is important to apply what you have learned. Knowing a language is one thing. Using it is quite another. As members of the World Language Honor Society, you now have a responsibility to be a merchant of hope, one that is going to continue to develop this culture of we that is focused on acceptance, understanding, service to others, honesty, integrity, and scholarship. It is a responsibility that you should not carry lightly, and one I hope brings you much joy in your pursuit of lifelong excellence. Congratulations to those of you being inducted tonight into the World Language Honor Society, and for those of you who have earned the seal of biliteracy. These are tremendous accomplishments. Keep squeezing El Hugo out of your lives. Congratulations again, and let's go Panthers.
Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente la présidente de notre cercle local de la Société honoraire de français, Mademoiselle Samantha Nefi, et à son aide, vice-présidente Catherine Mayer et secrétaire Juliane Esposito.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir. Nous nous rassemblons ici ce soir pour l'initiation de ce groupe d'étudiantes qui ont démontré un intérêt sincère de la belle langue française. Veuillez écouter notre secrétaire qui nous donnera un exposé sommaire de l'histoire et des buts de notre société.
Cette société honoraire de français a été fondée par l'Association américaine de professeurs de français pour les étudiants des écoles secondaires américaines et ce cercle local s'est établi en 1989, l'année même du bicentenaire de la Révolution française. Nos couleurs sont les bleus, les blancs et les rouges. Notre signe est la fleur de lis. Notre devise, la personne qui sait deux langues en vaut deux.
J'ai l'honneur de présenter ces candidates pour induction dans la Société honoraire de français. Vous devez répéter les mots de serment de la Société, locution pour locution.
Diana Androvette, Matthew Buginski, Charlie Falls, Samantha Gordon, Catherine Sackdalen.
Comme membre
De
la Société honoraire de français,
la Société honoraire de français.
je promets de me consacrer à l'étude de la langue française pour que un jour je puisse l'apprendre à fond en me rendant compte qu'une langue peut être un lien entre les gens d'origine de race et d'écoute différentes. Comme citoyen de mon pays, je promets de continuer
de
que
continuer
à la diffusion
à la diffusion
de l'amitié
de
de
l'amitié
l'amitié
et de l'esprit d'entente
et de l'esprit d'entente
entre lui
entre lui
et tous les autres pays du monde.
et tous les autres pays du monde.
Voilà ma promesse
Voilà ma promesse
et mon serment.
et mon serment.
Mesdames et messieurs, agissant en capacité de présidente de cercle local numéro 2151 de la Société honoraire de français, je vous présente les nouveaux membres. Vive la France!
Vive la France!
Vive l'Amérique!
L'Amérique!
Señores y señoras, les presento a ustedes la presidenta de nuestro capítulo de la Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica, Camille Gómez Herrera, y también la vicepresidenta Nicole Jones y la secretaria Shanna Echeverri.
Miembros antiguos y nuevos de esta sociedad hispánica, salud. Estamos reunidos aquí para la ceremonia de juramento de este grupo de estudiantes que han mostrado y probado un vivo interés en la bella lengua castellana. Escuchemos todos a nuestra secretaria, que nos dará un resumen corto de la historia y de los fines de nuestra sociedad.
Esta sociedad honoraria hispánica fue fundada por la Asociación Americana de Maestros de Español y Portugués en 1953 para los estudiantes de las escuelas secundarias norteamericanas. Este capítulo de Pequannock Township High School fue establecido en 1983. El nombre de este capítulo es José Antonio. Nuevo lema es todos a uno. Nuestros colores son rojo y el oro. Nuestro insignia y nuestros sellos son los de la Madre Asociación.
Tengo el honor de presentar a estos candidatos del capítulo José Antonio de la Sociedad Honoraria Hispánica. Ustedes repetirán juntos el juramento de la sociedad frase por frase.
Les presento a ustedes los candidatos siguientes. Christopher Basich, Jenna Barbosa, Samantha Bellman, Ethan Bernstein, Jessica Deemer, Grace Fisher, Natalie Foley, Elena Forrest, Ruby Frank, Adam Geisler, Timothy Greff, Connor Griffith, Sebastian Hill, Olivia Hyde, Madeline Lindgren, Michal Majera, Samantha Mahoney, Olivia Mazies, Grace Nelson, Jordan Piccolo, Morgan Powers, Jacob Roby, Michael Rodriguez, Derek Siri, Luke Shore, Brooke Struble, Ethan Sutherland, Mateo Torres, Nicole Watson.
Miembro
Como
miembro
del capítulo
del capítulo
José Antonio,
José Antonio,
prometo dedicarme
Prometo
dedicarme
al estudio
al
al estudio
la lengua española
de la
de la
lengua
lengua
española
con el fin
con el
con el
fin
de dominarla algún día,
de
dominarla
donarla
algún
al
día,
recordando
recordando
que una lengua
que una
una
lengua
lengua
puede ser
puede ser
un lazo fuerte
un lazo fuerte
entre personas
entre personas
de distintos orígenes,
de distintos orígenes,
raza o religión, como ciudadano
como ciudadano
de mi patria, prometo promover la amistad y el entendimiento
la amistad y el entendimiento
entre ella
entre ella
y los otros países
y los otros países
del mundo.
del mundo.
Esta es mi promesa
Esta es mi promesa
y mi juramento.
y mi juramento.
Amigos, por la autoridad que me concede la presidencia del capítulo José Antonio, yo los declaro miembros de este capítulo. ¡Felicitaciones!
Good evening. I'm Dr. Sheridan, the supervisor of the World Language Department. I now have the distinct honor of recognizing 13 seniors who've earned the New Jersey State Seal of Biliteracy. What that means is that these students have demonstrated that they're able to speak, read, write, and listen in more than one language. Tonight, I recognize these 13 seniors who've earned the State Seal of Biliteracy in both English and French and English and Spanish.
Miss Adriana Burgos Jimenez, Mr. Sebastian Delgado, Miss Shana Echeverry, Miss Julianne Esposito, Miss Camille Gomez Herrera, Ms. Jasmine Gregg, Ms. Nicole Jones, Ms. Catherine Meyer, Ms. Samantha Nafee, Mr. Alvaro Pelleggio, Mr. Alan Ramirez, Ms. Kimberly Rodriguez, Ms. Valerie Vargas.
Congratulations again to the seniors earning the State Seal of Biliteracy. You should be very proud of your accomplishment. This truly makes you global citizens. So congratulations again. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I now have the honor of introducing the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Michael Portis.
Bonsoir, mes amis. Buenos noches, amigos. Goeie avond. Welcome. Thank you for being a part of the World Language Honor Society festivities for tonight. And I'd like to thank Madame Krefeld and Mrs. Cole for inviting me to speak at the end of this. World language is something that means a great deal to me. As someone who actually graduated high school with 9 years of world language credit, it's something I take a lot of pride in and believe is incredibly important. And if you're trying to do the math, it is actually true. I had 5 years of French, 2 years of Dutch, and 2 years of German. One of the advantages of living in Holland for a while. But really, tonight is a celebration of not just your achievement, but also your commitment to culture. Language is culture. And I can tell you right now that of all the leadership courses and all the other courses I took in those very carefully placed diplomas that are over my left shoulder, I learned more from learning language, I think, than I did in the experiences at those universities. And that's not to dismiss the accomplishments there or what those universities put forth. But you learn through trying to communicate. And really the essence of what we're trying to accomplish as scholars is to communicate more effectively. And whether you're doing it in French or Spanish or English, Dutch, or some point outside of that, you have to understand, based on your audience, how you're going to command your word choice, which is your diction, how you're going to command how you place those words together, which is your syntax, and ultimately how you establish tone. When you command language, you command the message, and you command how the audience receives you. And I think that that's an incredibly important skill to have. So as young scholars who are wrapping up high school or still have a few years of high school left, my challenge to you is this: don't stop learning. Don't stop committing to language. I should probably say don't stop believing, but that's a little cheesy and contrived. But truthfully, what you've started to accomplish now, you can take beyond the borders of Pequannock, beyond the borders of Morris County, beyond the borders of the United States of America, and hopefully make an impact on an international stage. Globally, we're seeing that English is taking over. It is the dominant language globally, which isn't an awful thing, since this quirky, weird language of ours is really an amalgam of so many other languages. Take the opportunity to learn how to communicate with others, especially in their native tongue. I learned while I was in Holland that my attempts at speaking Dutch was very effective in terms of currying favor with people who thought I was the ugly American. Same thing when I tried to speak to people in French. When you meet people where they live, where they communicate, you show an awful lot, and that's something that you're going to be able to do now that you have the gift of an additional language. Continue to build on that gift, and for those of you who are learning a romantic language, know this: they're interconnected. If you're learning French, Spanish is not a terribly heavy lift. If you're learning Spanish, right back towards French, or even Italian or Portuguese or a few others. That said, I'd like to conclude this by again congratulating you, thanking your parents for being a part of this and also for supporting you, and really thanking the educators who have made this possible for you. So, merci beaucoup, muchas gracias, dankjewel, thank you. Have a great night.